So I would really love to read a paragraph of this Neville Goddard collection for you because you are putting way too much effort into your desired reality. You should put your effort into it. Your effort, your intention, your emotions, your thoughts, but you are stressing yourself. And this paragraph totally sums up like a way of life that I did not start living until like 3 4 years ago, when I really actively dove into this stuff, applied it in my own life. Because I used to study psychology at university, I've worked with therapy and coaching for many years, but I was still a mess myself. I would really struggle for money and I would really struggle for attention and love and would not feel myself worthy. So here it comes from The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, chapter The Effortless Way. The principle of least action governs everything in physics, from the path of a planet to the path of a pulse of light. Least action is the minimum of energy multiplied by the minimum of time. Therefore, in moving from your present state to the state desired, you must use the minimum of energy and take the shortest possible time. Your journey from one state of consciousness to another is a psychological one. So, to make the journey, you must employ the psychological equivalent of least action. And the psychological equivalent is mere assumption. Right? Let's just take one more line and then I'll explain it. The day you fully realize the power of assumption, you discover that it works in complete conformity with this principle. It works by means of attention minus effort. Thus, with least action, through an assumption, you hurry without haste and reach your goal without effort. All right. I could keep on reading because every word of Neville's is powerful. And as I've told you before, I'm I'm a coach, and if you would like to work with me, link is in the description. But I'm also a business coach. I work primarily with entrepreneurs looking to expand across their current horizon to be more fulfilled and live a life of happiness. But Neville is also the backbone of the I am. It's also a small part. But I talk about it here on YouTube because I read Neville every day because I love it. But it's very poetic, his way of describing it. But the effortless way. So we as entrepreneurs, you and I, we oftentimes have this effort-based personality. A lot of entrepreneurs, they are coming from childhoods that where you also had to work hard to keep your mom happy, to keep your dad happy, to keep everyone safe. So you were either left alone at an early age, you had a parent that could not emotionally regulate themselves, or you had high achieving parents that you had to work hard to gain their attention. These three categories totally sums up a lot of entrepreneurs' lives, and it sums up my life as well. So you grow up thinking that your success criteria is not success, but searching for success. And that is very, very toxic. And please listen to my words. Your goal is success, not searching for success. And it's a subtle nuance, but if you try going through life always searching for the solution, then you will never reach it because your state of mind is still searching. And I have a lot of clients that are like this when they enter one of my programs, is that they don't think the goal is the goal, the finish line is the finish line, but looking for the finish line that is the finish line. So when they reach a finish line, they don't celebrate. Some of them do celebrate, thinking already about the next milestone, but a lot of people don't celebrate because, okay, but my state of mind has not changed, so I'm still searching. And in that effortless based identity, not effortless, but effort based identity, you put on masks all the time. And you can actually create a very, like, in terms of money, rich life living like that. You will not be happy. You cannot gain fulfillment from this way of life because you will never gain that fulfillment. That is always in the future, in that identity. But you can gain a lot of money because you are so scared of not having it that you will gain it. You will try to gain it to get the appraisal of others. You will try to gain it to finally be worthy of love. So you can become very rich living the wrong life, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs are like that. And some of them enter into my field where they say, yes, I have money, I work very hard, but I hate it, right? I hate it. And this paragraph that I just read to you perfectly summarizes what I oftentimes start out with telling them. So, you are not following the path of least resistance. And just to quickly clarify, in the world of manifestation, the universe, God, Allah, whoever you believe in, the all, source, it always works with the path of least resistance. Even when it gives you hard times, that is the path of least resistance because you have resistance that you need to overcome. So the universe will just smack you in the head with a hard time so you can finally learn. And if you do not learn, it will smack you in the head again. That's how this works. But it is always the path of least resistance for you. And that is also why I tell you, when you try to manifest, don't be specific. I know a lot of people tell you on here, on TikTok, on Instagram, be very specific about what you want, but you do not know what you want. Most of you guys know the feeling you want. You know who you want to become, but the thing you want, like materialistically, is oftentimes based out of ego. And when you find that feeling, stay in that feeling for long enough, it will materialize. But I promise you, it will materialize way better than you thought. A better car than you wanted, a better house than you wanted, a different color. You don't have to be specific, and that's way too much effort. You do not need to, like, make it another assignment. Like, if we have all these barriers, right? You have the I amness, your identity in the middle. You were born like this, the observer of your own thought, the one that does not age, right? That's the way you should look at it. The character, when you visualize images from your birthdays during your life, who is that character watching this that does not age? That is the I amness, just your consciousness, right? And that is in the middle. You have all these layers outside, and a lot of people, also in my field, coaches, spiritual people, they just, instead of remove these layers, they add several more layers. Okay, but I also need to affirm every day. I also need to visualize every day. I also need to meditate every day. So you have this giant to-do list, way bigger than before you knew manifestation. And that won't help you. You are still stuck in effort. You're still stuck in effort. You should not do that. Listen to Neville because he is so poetic about his words, and he's very, like, intentional with his words. This should be the effortless way. You should only try to change your state to the future you. So if you are one of these people that just put so much effort into manifesting, or put so much effort into being a coach, you should actually step back and start asking yourself, what would it feel like if I did not have to do anything? And in a lot of you people, it will resonate wrongly in the beginning. You will feel like, yeah, but then I cannot be worthy. I cannot feel love. I will be called lazy. And all these words, they will give you cues into the memory from your past that started all this. And when you get to the bottom of it, you know, okay, that's where it started. That is why I believe I need to work so damn hard to get this success. When in reality, I am really, really resisting not to go in the path of least resistance. Every day when you wake up, you know how you could feel good. That is just instinct. Your inner being knows exactly what you would like. And I'm not talking like egotistically feeling good. I'm not talking about going out and partying. Maybe that's for you, but I'm talking about what would make you feel peace, what would make you feel effortless, what would you like to do if money was no obstacle. You know how to feel good. And sometimes it is exactly the same direction as you're going right now, just without the effort. Because the effort is putting you into beta wave states. In that beta wave states, you are not creative, so you cannot think those genius thoughts you could when you were just starting out. So for some of you, it's going in exactly the same direction, just with more meditating, more peace, more calmness. So you can finally unlock those genius ideas, because you know, as an entrepreneur, you are not paid by your time. You're paid by your ideas, right? Are they better than your competitors? Are they better than you were yesterday? Or you're just stuck in this loop of I'm going to try this again, even though it didn't work last time. I'm just going to try this, try this, try this. Just doing stupid stuff from the wrong vibration. But so for some of you, it is moving in the same direction, just without the effort, just with total relaxation that it's going to work out. But with a lot of you, it's also just going in another direction. You're simply just pursuing the thing you're pursuing because you think that's the way you should go to get the attention, to get the love, to get the money. But this paragraph really should tell you to go in the effortless way. It is effortless. I have worked very hard for millions, but honestly, I've also made millions working barely at all. And that's what happens when you align with your true purpose and when you align with what you feel like doing. All right. So I think we should sum it up. I think we should end this video before it gets too long, because creation is finished. What you desire already exists. It is excluded from you because you can see only the contents of your own consciousness. It is the function of an assumption to call back the excluded view and restore full vision. It is not the world, but your assumptions that change. An assumption brings the invisible into sight. It is nothing more nor less than seeing with the eye of God. So, what do you need to do today? Less. I thought about, when I read this, I thought I have to create this video, because when you see my videos as well, you think, okay, now Chris gave me another assignment to put on my to-do list. No, I actively told you to remove items from your to-do list. Just go one step back, find the awareness behind it all, become formless, become just pure consciousness. Close your eyes, find that inner being, change it to your desired reality, and stay in that vibration for as long as you can. Change your expectations for the future. They are creating your reality. Change your beliefs, your attitudes, and your convictions. Sums up pretty much what manifestation is about. Yeah, that's it. Get out of here.